Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Voices from the Mausoleum and our first monthly live for the year. Um, I mislabeled the video, so we're going to talk about whatever comes up. I don't know.
Way to go, Angel. Way to
Valentine's
go. No,
Day is
We're gonna
Valentine's
follow our
Day.
hearts.
We
That's
oh,
right.
I should have let that would have been so good if
But
I thought of that. To like so essentially tomorrow's Valentine's Day. Uh Valentine's horror is kind of limited. There's some other things we could have talked about, things we in that theme, but I told Steve, I was like, let's just do like a chill horror hangout with our friends that can come and just talk about either why we love horror or movies that we love. So it was originally supposed to be movies that we love. Angel labeled everything why we love horror, what we love about horror. So, I don't know. That's all I got. The point is, my ears are red,
that's the most important thing.
and I have a hoodie on that my partner stuck a Minecraft heart to. I have a shirt that's Jaws themed that says "I choose you." You get it?
I love it.
And I'm
Love
eating
it so
Reese's
much.
hearts. So I'm very. Oh, and this is not a Valentine's cup, but it's the Valentine's Day cup that I just got today from my partner, which is super
I
cool.
love that so much.
So cute.
Yes. And so anyway, so yeah, so we got a couple people that I think are going to try to pop in and out. It's just meant to kind of be just a chill hangout with our friends and just talking about some horror movies that we haven't really specifically maybe focused on, or at least for me, like because I'm one of the hosts, I specifically wrote down movies that like we haven't spent a ton of time on or like we haven't talked about. So, and if you have something that we've talked about, that's also fine. It doesn't matter, but that's just kind of how I tried to approach it. So, right now we have, of course, Norin, who I don't think needs an introduction. You guys know who he is by now, as well as Tasha.
I'm trying to remember when I did that or why I did it, and I have no idea, but I kept it because why not?
I mean, it's on brand for you, right? I think
It is. It's
yeah.
very on brand for me.
Yeah. So I think we've got a couple of people, like I said, that are gonna jump in and out. I think so. Just meant to kind of hang out and talk horror for a little bit. And so yeah. And Steve, am I crazy? Is this our first video together of the year?
I think so because I think I did. We've been doing found footage solo, coffee
Yeah.
crypt. I think I did one with Norin. I did one solo.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I just thought about that when you came in earlier. I was like, damn, Steve, I don't think we've done anything together yet this year, but that's
Wow.
all right. Well, and a lot of the content we've been putting out, for those of you who don't know or watch our updates, is pre-done stuff. So like I was attempting to do a show on another channel that kind of went sour. So I'm reusing that content. So like Norin and I did a top 5 slashers. That's going to be re-released. Tasha and I did some stuff. Me and Albert did a werewolf. Speaking of Albert, hi Tara.
Oh, hi.
I don't know that picture. Look how pretty. I love your makeup. And so anyway, so it's kind of been a lot of that, except for the Friday stuff and the coffee crypt. So it hasn't been a ton of new stuff anyway. So reuse stuff. But anyway, so we're here to talk about movies that we love or why we love horror, whichever you guys prepared for, because I didn't label the stuff right. So
We'll
Tasha,
cover everything.
we'll go lady guest first. What you feel like talking about?
Oh, God. I mean, we all know that Shaun of the Dead is the perfect movie. 10 out of 10. Like,
Shaun
we'll
of
live
the
on forever.
Dead. That's a solid 7, Tasha.
I see what you did there.
Tasha
prove
gave
that I
Steve. Do you
see it.
remember that? The first thing we ever did together was Train to Busan, and
Yes.
Tasha gave it a 7.
I stand by what I said.
Hi, Joshua.
Disappointing.
Oh, are you still getting 7?
Hello.
Hi,
You
John.
in?
Hello.
Hello. There we go.
Steve's on his phone too.
You
Same.
make it work.
So it's like you're voguing now. You're voguing.
I could have given you more time. I'm sorry. I was just so happy to see you. We'll let Joshua get acclimated.
There we
Go ahead,
go.
Tasha.
I was having
Hi.
trouble with audio and everything. I'm on my phone, so that
Okay.
was
Same. I love that blanket. That's so cute.
yes. It is my Nightmare Before Christmas blanket. So
Cute.
So cute.
Yeah.
So cute. Well, thanks for joining us, Joshua.
of course, thank you for
Whoa.
having me.
Of course.
Did something
Yeah.
just crash somewhere?
It's
Steve's
just me living my chaotic life.
Okay.
Knock the
Demoing the
baby
house as
monitor
we speak.
over.
Oh, I'm gonna use the picture of you like this from the Frozen screen to promote this tomorrow.
Hardcore cheesing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't. Joshua Pangborn has also been on the channel a few times. He's a friend of ours as well. So you know, everybody should know who he is. Go help him support his new movie.
Yes,
Whoop,
we start filming a week from tomorrow. So
Oh, that's super exciting.
Soon.
Very exciting. The Contract. And if you've read his short stories, which I have, there's some inspiration, and we also did an entire conversation about it, so you should check that out too. Yeah, Tasha, good shout. Shaun of the Dead's a good one. It's a romance. It's got some romance. It's almost
It
zombie.
is. It does.
It doesn't have
Much,
to be about romance. I'm just teasing, but
much
yeah.
more realistic romance than most things, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Oh,
probably
babe.
fair. Mhm.
Just, I feel
Yeah.
it in my soul.
Yeah, that's a good movie. I love that movie. We actually just showed that movie to the middle kid not that long ago, and he quite liked it as well. In fact, he kept the cracked cup that I made when I made your other cup, because the first
Oh,
one
yeah.
cracked. He kept it because he was like, I love this. But then the crack got to be too bad and it started leaking, so he's keeping it.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah, no, but anyway, fun fact, Steve and I have a Patreon. And if you're a patron, at least 2 times a year you get cool extra goodies from us. Like personalized cups, like what Tasha got. But anyway, all right, Norin, what's your first shout of the evening?
That's kind of interesting that Tasha brought that up. It was kind of cool. She brought that up, a zombie film. I have Day of the Dead right here. This one's not really romantic, I wouldn't say, or anything like that. Hers definitely fits the theme of the holiday more, but this is like unequivocally my favorite zombie film. Like, this is like the bar that I measure every other zombie film by, is Day of the Dead. So this film is totally, I eat this up.
Pun intended.
Womp,
Zombies
womp.
love brains. That's
Yes.
purely romantic. Everyone knows that.
That's sapiosexual, right? Is that
No, is
what that's considered? I think so.
I don't know.
yes, that is that's
Okay.
yeah.
Dang, Tasha. Is that
Yes.
an SAT word for you?
Yeah. Like I can
Or
remember what
Scrabble.
was
It's
on my
for,
SATs.
for next week's Scrabble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scrabble word. No, that's funny for sure. Yeah, that's a good one. I like Day of the Dead. I haven't seen it in a really long time. But that's a good one. Good shout. And of course you have your physical media, because
I have physical media copies for all these. Yeah, I basically grabbed everything.
You're like, oh, here's my stack for my list. Yeah.
Gotta show it off.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, Joshua, we'll go to you next. What's your first shout for the evening?
That's a great question. I think probably in keeping with the theme, Valentine probably.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
That's a much overlooked Valentine's Day horror film. So
I agree with that. That actually was a surprisingly good one. I remember thinking it wasn't going to be, though, given that the time frame that it kind of
totally.
came out.
Plus, yeah. I mean, it seemed like a very generic, and in many ways it was. But also, what an amazing costume for the killer. So.
Yeah, it's actually quite scary. Oh, yeah, the beginning sequence in Valentine is really good.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Have any of you seen Hard Eyes?
Not yet.
No.
I love just how the eyes light up and the mask. I haven't seen it yet, but the trailer just gets me every time.
It's a great costume.
It looks really good, and I love anything that's like holiday themed, like anything.
Yeah.
It doesn't it's like, except for Rotten Tail.
Oh, whatever. You love
Oh,
it
wow.
so much. You
Although it's
love
not
it so much. And a banana.
a banana. Oh, Tara's already seen it. Really liked Hard Eyes. It was good,
Oh,
huh?
nice.
Did y'all go see it
Nice.
in theaters? Is it a theater release? I don't even know.
Yeah, it's in the
Yeah.
Yeah.
theater now.
Oh, well, that's
And it's
cool.
got what's his
Mason
name
Gooding's in it. Mason Gooding, I
from?
think.
Yeah, is
Right?
that Chad
Yeah.
from Scream?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, the hot dude
Oh,
from Scream.
The director is a really sweet guy, Josh Rubin.
He is
He's an
super nice.
improv comedian.
Ew, Rob,
what's
gross.
up, Rob? Hard Eyes was really fun. I'm excited to see them. Tara says we watched them all in theaters. Do you go willingly
Heck
to
yeah.
all of them or just some of them, Tara? Does Albert make you feel like you have to go watch them with him? Um, yeah, no, I intend to see that one, not in theaters. I won't be able to, but when it comes out, I do want to watch it. I love horror themed holiday stuff. Never mind. We're not going to talk about it because we're boycotting them. We'll talk about it when the camera's off. All right, Steve, what you got for
Oh,
your first movie that you want to shout?
staying on theme, and you knew I wanted to talk about this one, Angel, was
Yes, please do.
Lisa Frankenstein. I
Nice.
love that movie. I've seen
Do
it a
I
few
have
times
an
now.
on theme one?
Introduced it to my mom the other week. She enjoyed it. I often tell people it's like if Tim Burton directed Heathers. Um,
Yeah.
because you
It's
have
so
this
good.
dark teen romance with a bunch of murder happening,
I
and
love that movie.
different reasons, and obviously zombie related too, which kind of worked out. But it's just so
Oh,
funny. It's so much fun.
Tara says
Um,
she's currently watching it. Love, 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 love.
yeah, Carla
I
Gugino
haven't
is
Nice.
seen it
great.
yet.
Yeah, I wish I had seen it in theaters. But I
I
had
didn't
it.
see it till it was streaming.
Yeah. Oh, it's so funny. It's one I could definitely rewatch. It's actually has been kind of entered the
Uh-oh.
rewatch
Rob says I have
cycle.
very different thoughts on Lisa
Of course he
Frankenstein.
Oh,
does.
snap.
I was
Rob
thinking the
hates fun.
contrarian, right? Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah,
Oh
he hates fun.
no, Rob.
No, I love that movie. I knew I was gonna love it anyway. But yeah, that's a really fun one. I only have one on here that's even remotely close to love themed. I just picked stuff I really wanted to talk about. So
Yeah, that's kind of how I went about it too.
yes, okay, cool, Nora, and we're on the same page. So the only thing I have even remotely about love is Night House with
Okay.
Rebecca Hall.
That's a great movie.
That's such a well, and they loved each other. It's on theme. I went into that movie knowing, right, that I was probably going to love it because Rebecca Hall in horror, like I will always check it out. She's phenomenal in a horror scene. But this movie was bananas. Like it went into a direction I just did not think it was going to go. And some of the scenes, like the angles and when you start to see stuff, but then she moves, you don't see it. It's just shot so well, it's acted so well, and we just haven't really talked about it. I don't think it's come up on the channel before, so I just put it on the list because I want to talk about it because I love that movie.
That's on Shutter, right? I still need to watch that.
Is
Is it on?
is it? I'm mad at Shutter. I don't know. It might be on Shutter. I watched it.
Oh.
I rented it when it first came out for VOD.
Yeah, I think I
Okay.
did too. I might have watched it around the same time Angel did because I did rent it too. And I remember a lot of people kind of talking it up, and I was like, kind of like, oh, what's this? And the cast in
Yeah.
it and stuff. And I was interested, and it just, yeah, it floored me. It was one of those films that I was like, this is easy, like an 8 or a 9 out of 10 kind of film.
I will tell you, I think she is such a phenomenal actress. The first thing I ever saw her in a horror sense was this movie called The Awakening, and it's much older. And then she was in this. And what was the movie she was just in with Tim Roth? Resurrected? No, Resurrection? What was it called?
I'm not too sure.
I have
She
no
had
idea.
like the ex-partner. It's played by Tim Roth, who's just bananas talented as well.
I
She's
love
great in
him.
Hard
Yeah.
as Tango. I love her. Tara said that The Monkey was better than I expected. I liked it a lot. I want to rewatch when it comes to out theaters again. Rob said, "Oh, I forgot about the Night House. It's really good." Yeah, I was shocked because I saw an update the other day that said that they're doing another movie called Night House, but it's based off of Stephen King, maybe? No. Who is it based off? And I was like, isn't there already a movie called Night House? Like, is it the same thing? We're looking for the popcorn bucket. Oh, I haven't seen that. Man, AMC knew what they were doing introducing these damn popcorn buckets. They make a
Truth.
fortune off of those. They don't even need to sell movie tickets anymore.
Yeah.
But anyway, but yeah, I just want to talk about The Night House because I really liked it. That was a good movie.
Score.
Yeah. All right, Tasha, what's up next on your list?
I feel like it kind of applies. Tragedy Girls.
Ah,
Sweet. That's a great
Yes.
one.
Yes.
Tasha and I are obsessed with that movie. It's so good.
Love it so much.
It's so. First of all, I love Kevin Durant. I will
So
watch. He's
funny.
another one.
Yes.
I will watch anything he is in, especially if it's horror related. But those girls, oh my god, I love them so much. They're phenomenal.
Yes. They are. And he's so good at playing like a knucklehead, like an Abigail and everything else. Like he's just he can do anything. I love him.
My favorite thing that he has done though is in The Strain, that vampire TV show that used to be on FX.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
wow.
yeah.
I remember
Oh.
that. Damn.
It's on Hulu now, I think.
I need to finish it. I never finished
It
it 'cause
is,
I got
yeah.
really irritated with it. But he's so funny in that and weird and quirky. And like you said, he plays those characters really well.
Yeah.
Rob says Tasha's list has to be interesting.
He knows. He's heard my lists before.
Mhm.
I think I'm trying to think of like the last hot take I got him with. I think it's was it Halloween 2018 is better than the original, and Halloween Ends is like one of the worst in the franchise.
How
That
can
was
you
a
say
great
that? Have
episode.
you not seen 4?
Oh,
How
I've
can
been
you say
all of them specifically so I could make a list for him.
I'm
And
telling you.
I think
Go ahead,
I
sorry.
think it was this. Oh, you're fine. I think it was the second Rob Zombie I put as the worst because he killed a
Oh yeah,
dog, and that made me
that
sad.
is the worst.
Um,
He said your
but
ranking of Halloween films was a fever dream, Tasha.
It's a fever
it
dream.
was so good, so good. It was amazing. I can't help
No,
that he has bad taste.
when we did our Halloween live this past summer, I was in that seat because I like pissed everybody off with my rankings. I
It
made so
was
many.
so heated.
It was rough. Rob's face. He's the not you, Rob. The other Rob. The other Rob. I like when I promoted it. I did the zoom ins on his face because there were parts where he was like.
I love it so much.
Yeah, it keeps things interesting. Norm,
does.
what you got next on your list? You want to talk about?
All right. This one is kind of like I said with Angel said, I kind of went in line with just stuff I absolutely love no matter what.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this franchise, I eat this franchise up. I grabbed the double disc of
Hellraiser?
Bloodline.
Nah.
Yeah, I grabbed this double disc DVD one. This is old school right here. This is Hell on Earth and Bloodlines. But in general, I love this franchise to death. Even the bad sequels that are just stupid detective stories and Pinhead's in it for like 2 minutes. Like
Hellworld is my favorite, the computer one.
not the online one. Yeah, that one has Superman in it. Henry Cavill's in that movie. So is Lance Henriksen, which is has a pretty good cast.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
that's just one of those franchises that, like, no matter what, I eat this up. I love Hellraiser. So, like I said, and if it wasn't for the bad ones, we wouldn't know what the good ones were. Like when we got 2022's Hellraiser on Hulu, that was amazing. It was a fantastic one. And I still want a sequel to that movie.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
I keep looking, but I don't. They never advertise anything.
No, all I know for sure is that it's coming to 4K though. That they are getting a 4K release, so I will be buying that for sure when it comes out.
Whoop whoop.
Rob says, "Oh no, you shouldn't love a franchise that refuses to love you back."
Unrequited love.
But you can't if you think the franchise is just 1 and 2, then
that's true.
That is
Some
fair.
people just rebuke the rest of it, right?
Maybe 3.
Maybe 3. Hellworld is the best. There's the other Rob. Hi.
Hey everyone.
How are you?
How's everyone doing?
Good.
Good.
Just talking
Long
about
time
your
no
faces
see.
that you made during the Halloween live that we did.
Oh God. When I
You're
forgot
having
that
flashbacks.
this is actually being filmed and everyone can see what I'm doing.
No cuts, no edits. No.
No.
Yeah.
Love it.
We're just kind of going around talking about movies that we love in horror. So, just kind of a chill hangout. I'm gonna I'll let you jump in. We'll go Joshua and then you.
Okay.
Robbie, and then we'll go back to Steve-O up there in his chaotic world, as he put it.
I finished my
Um,
Metamucil, so that's out.
oh
Oh,
my
oh God. Oh, yeah.
Oh, we
I
party
wish
hard
we
on a Thursday.
y'all,
Yeah, me too.
I wish we had been recording when he said that. That was so funny.
That was
Um,
amazing.
Tara, I don't know if you're still in the chat, but if you are, do you see my little wolfie guy that you got me? Oh, he's normally when I play horror games and I jump scare myself, these things fall on me, so they get moved around a lot. But I just wanted you to know that he's in a very special place.
Oh,
Yeah, he's cute, right? So can you see the Wolfman? It's like a Funko Pop, but he's a big ass metal pin. Anyway.
Nice.
I
Oh, that
can't
is
see anything. I'm on
adorable.
my phone, so everyone's like a centimeter.
Oh, everybody's tiny. Oh, she says I
Yeah.
see him. Okay, good. I just wanted you to know that he's in a special place. All right, Joshua, what's next on your list that you want to
Well,
talk about?
I maybe did it wrong because I wrote about I picked lists of movies that were thematic for the holiday.
Oh no, do
So
it. That's perfectly fine.
because I thought a trilogy that I just watched that I thought was all about love was the Basket Case trilogy.
Oh,
That's a trilogy?
Nice.
Oh
I
Yeah.
my
did not
God.
know that was
Trilogy.
a trilogy either, Tosh.
Oh my God. Like, I've been missing out this whole time.
Oh, I gotta watch the other one.
What have you only seen one?
I've only seen the first
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Oh, well then yes, you're missing out on 2 and 3 are ridiculous. And
Okay.
I mean that in the most lovely way, but
Sure.
they are ridiculous.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Oh,
Blew my
maybe we can
mind.
cover those,
They
Tasha.
they are
Yeah.
everything yeah, they're just I can't even begin to describe them because they are ridiculous. uh,
The best
but
kind.
yeah, they're all on Tubi, so you can watch them on Tubi.
Perfect.
Oh yes.
That's Frank Henenlotter, right? Frank Henenlotter?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's all about brotherly love, and then 2 and 3 become more about romantic love. So
Oh, fantastic. Did they just call it Basket Case 2 and Basket Case 3?
yeah, you did. Yep.
Oh, fantastic. Easy to find.
Rob says 2 and 3 are ridiculous as if the first one was normal.
Okay, that's fair.
They're very normal.
Everything's relative.
Oh.
The first, the first one is like watching a Lifetime movie, and then 2 and 3
Oh my
become
god.
like I don't even know what you'd call them at that.
That's
Oh,
funny.
good.
Yeah, I did not know that was a trilogy. That's
That's
hilarious.
amazing.
They are fun though. I just watched them for the first time,
Yeah.
and they're ridiculous is the only word to describe them. But they are fun. They are so much fun.
I love that so
No.
much.
Yeah.
That's
I'll have
gonna
to
be a
check
thing.
those out for sure. All right, Robbie, we'll do you next. What do you want to talk about? What you got on your list?
I might get fired for this. So we're talking about movies that we love or movies that are like Valentine themed?
Yep.
There are
Either
no
or.
rules,
Whichever.
apparently.
Angel,
Either or?
y'all, in case
Oh my
anyone's
God.
wondering, Angel is a phenomenal communicator, and it's so evident. I I have to run time to record. I disagree with everything Tasha says. Bye, Rob.
Jackass.
Have a good recording. Talk
Love
to you later.
you.
So yeah, honestly, whatever you want to talk about, as long as it's horror, I don't care.
Oh man. Let's see. Well, oh geez. I'm let's see. Well, the two that come to mind are the ones that really kind of shaped my interest in the genre when I was about 9 or 10, which were first was Scream. Seeing it I saw it opening weekend at 10 years old. Uh, Became instantly obsessed, and I was like, why do I enjoy being scared? Never mind that my dad was and is a merry prankster, and he loves to pull gags
Oh
and
no.
Oh
scare
my
the hell out of.
god.
Let me tell you something. While we're on the topic, when I was probably even younger than this, I was probably 7 or 8, and I
Yeah.
was watching TV with my dad. We were kind of going through, and it was a little bit later than I usually stayed up, so he was allowing me to kind of just choose what I wanted to watch. And I went past the cartoons, all that stuff. I went past Nick at Night and Snick and all that stuff, and I landed on Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. And I had heard about
Wow.
Jason, but that was my first time seeing him, doing what he does,
You're
throwing a,
speaking Norin's language now.
yeah, just like, putting a hot rock through a dude's stomach. And I was like, and of course it was, edited for television, but I looked at my dad, I was like, can I watch this? He was like, are you sure you can handle it? And I was like, I think so. All right. and again, edited for television. All the edges were kind of sanded off.
Yeah.
Watching it, I'm like, I'm enjoying this for some reason. And my dad. Meanwhile, my dad is locating a hockey mask. So then, like,
Oh,
picture little 7-year-old Robbie. I turn off the TV and I start brushing my teeth. I get in the bed.
oh no.
I don't know. My dad's already in the closet. He's already hiding there. And so then I'm just lying in bed, and all of a sudden I hear the door creaking open. I'm like, hello? I didn't hear anything. And then sure enough, he opens it almost completely the entire, and it's still pitch black. And I was like, okay, if I can run for it now, I think I can make it. So I start charging for the door, and he bursts out of the thing with the hockey mask, and I shrieked. And then once I found out that it was not going to kill me, I had started laughing hysterically, and that was like probably my first conscious laughing fit. And that something inside of me broke, you guys. Something happened on like a molecular level, where I was like, from this point, and the number of times I've scared my poor little sister, my friends, it's something happened that night. Like, and I was never the same. So
That's amazing.
so I just had to put that in there. But
That's
so
beautiful.
Scream, I just Scream I was obsessed with, and of course the movie that's mentioned more than any other one in that one is Halloween, which
Yeah.
I remember when I was about, maybe about a year later. My dad didn't put on the Michael Myers mask, thank God. But I stepped away from like a family party just to watch Halloween for the first time. And I remember
That's
just
fair.
being like so transfixed that I forgot
Yeah.
that anything else is happening. So there's those two that are kind of formative for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But God, there's so many other ones. I don't even know what I'm talking about right now. Sorry.
That's usually
You're
how we
good.
Your
do this.
love for those movies. That's it.
No,
Love it.
you're totally fine.
You're
Yeah,
good.
we're
All
just
right.
that's really the whole thing is I was telling Steve, we were talking about like we want to get back to trying to do these, but I want to make them more like this where we just have people come in if they can come in and we just talk about whatever and just take turns and it's totally fine.
For
But
sure. I
yeah.
mean, I don't know if you guys already talked about it. I saw Hard Eyes and Companion
Oh,
earlier this week. Anyone?
yeah.
We were
No Hard
talking
Eyes, but
about wanting to
Companion was
see it.
fantastic.
Yeah. I've
I'm
heard that
going
they're
to
both good.
I'm going to Companion this weekend, so
I really like that one a lot. I like that one a
I've
lot.
heard
Nice.
such good things about Companion.
That was really good. I don't. Have you seen the trailer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw the teaser trailer. I refuse to see anything after that.
Oh,
So
Good.
that's
That's
probably
fair.
smart.
In that case,
Apparently,
anything.
like twists were spoiled in the trailer. There was stuff in that movie I like. Was that in the trailer? Because I don't. I must have blocked it out because I didn't even remember half the shit from the trailer.
Yeah.
I've taken to sort of like only watching the first trailer that comes out for movies now because whoever edits I'm setting my age now, but whoever edits trailers these days, they just put everything in the trailer and it's
do.
very
Awful.
There's no
exhausting.
mystery anymore. I
Yeah.
don't even watch the teasers. If like
Yeah.
if the filmmaker and the concepts are enough, and like the marketing, if that's enough to get me in the door, then I probably won't even
Well,
watch the trailer.
like Strange Darling is a perfect example of a movie you should not watch the trailer for at all.
Oh, I
Just
didn't see the trailer for that one.
good. Well, then you should. That's perfect. You don't watch the
Yeah.
trailer. Just watch the movie because
Well,
Strange Darling's amazing, but it's better because you don't know anything going into it. So
Well, and I think the other thing that happens too is I think it's worse with our genre specifically because I think they feel like they have to give away all of that to freak people out or they
yep.
won't come see the movie and they don't realize that
Yeah.
in this genre it works opposite of that. Less is more usually. And
Yeah.
so I feel
Alien.
like it's oversaturated specifically in the horror genre because I think they think that's what they have to do to get butts in seats, but it's actually
Yeah.
not like that.
They don't realize we're already there.
Yeah,
We'll
we're
be
in.
there.
Right?
Like, yeah, you don't have to show
Yeah.
and it's you get people talking about movies like Long Legs, perfect example. There are people who weren't blown away by that, but if you think about the way that it was marketed, right?
Mhm.
And the way that they like you were interested because you had no idea what the hell that movie was about. You had
Intrigued.
Yeah.
no clue. And so
Yeah.
you go in and you watch it and that's how it's supposed to work. It's supposed to work that way. And it's I don't avoid trailers too often. There's been a couple I avoided. Five Nights at Freddy's I avoided for a ton of reasons, which I will not get into because it is not related to the same. But I had to because I knew if I saw it before I went and saw the movie, it was just going to be a different experience. So I just try not to. But I'm not very good at missing trailers.
Well,
I
like
usually watch them.
some of the best movies last year were the ones where if you didn't watch the trailer, that was like Cuckoo,
Yeah.
the Substance, and
Oh,
Heretic would probably have been better without watching the trailer as well.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen the
Um,
trailer for that one.
Oddity.
Which one?
Oddity.
Oh
Oddity. I
yeah.
went in not
Oh,
knowing.
yeah.
Great.
I didn't know. All I knew was director of Caveat, and that's all I needed. I was like, all right, I'm
That's
there.
all I knew, and I was the same way.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not gonna watch the trailer. I'm gonna see, and I loved that movie. I thought Oddity was super good.
Or
Fantastic.
It was.
Abigail. Abigail would have been so good if I didn't see the trailer.
Oh,
Like,
I know.
And
Let
they
that
didn't
have
They
been
have
your
really,
to
quest.
put that in there. They didn't have to.
yeah,
There's
No.
plenty of footage to cut around it.
they really should have. I don't know how they would have done it per se, but that's like their job to figure that out, not mine. But I really
Yeah.
wish they had not given away Vampire Ballerina Child. Like if
Yeah.
they had just reeled that in, I think as and I don't get me wrong, I really liked Abigail. I thought it was a lot of fun. It's got Melissa Barrera in it. I love her. It has that weird guy from The Discovery of Witches that is comical to be in the role that he was in that. But anyway, it's very good. It's got Kevin Durant in it.
Yeah.
Dan Stevens. Yeah.
And that other guy that everybody loves right now. Yep. And so they didn't need to give us that information. I wish they had kept it to themselves, and I think it would have just really elevated it as a movie. So I agree
For
with that.
sure.
Sure.
Yeah,
Um,
horror and comedy. They have a lot in common, but they both depend on surprise. Is a
Yeah.
huge
timing
factor
and
of it.
Yeah.
surprises. Yeah.
Something you don't see coming.
Mm-hmm.
No, I
And with
totally
long
agree.
legs, I have to give it to them somehow because at first all that they did was send out like these disembodied images of like a doll with covering on it, a veil with eyes, and like
So
somehow all
scary.
of it made sense in the narrative.
Definitely.
I don't know how
And
they're like,
I didn't think it would. I was like,
no,
this
I
is
was like, this isn't even
they
in the
bit off
movie.
more than they could chew with this. There's no way.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's super good. Steve, you want to
Wow.
talk about whatever you had next to talk? Do you have a list? Or are you just winging it? I don't know. I have a list.
I mean, I'm winging it sort of, and the next one's going to make it obvious because I don't want to say this movie, but my flaming homosexual heart is forcing it out of me.
Go on.
And that's Megan.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Yeah.
I love her so much. I just recently rewatched it too, just to kind of ramp up for the next one. I Part of me is like torn between: did they know what they were doing? Did they not know what they were doing? Was it an accident? Because it is so ridiculous, and I can't tell
Yeah.
if they were queer baiting with it, if they
Mhm.
knew we would love it, if you know, I don't know. It's just so fun.
There's no way they knew. There's no way they knew that the gays would embrace Megan like they did. Absolutely no way. Which is why they're doing all the wrong mistakes with the second one already. That teaser was queer baiting. The first movie, nothing.
Phenomenon.
Yeah. Yep.
And now they're gonna try too hard. That's
Yeah.
unfortunately. But yeah, no, that first one's like lightning in a bottle. Like that
Yep.
was so fun.
Oh, I had a
Yeah.
blast with Megan for sure.
I wasn't as bemused with it.
You're not a gay man, that's why. So
Oh, yeah, wrong gender, I guess, for that one. I thought it was fine, but I wasn't as blown away with that. I liked Abigail more than I liked that one. But
Listen,
I
yeah,
but
the
no,
gay men on this panel right now, if we were like 10 when that movie came out, we would all want to be Megan, like
Oh,
doing the
for Halloween?
moves.
Are you kidding me? I mean,
I mean, I
I
want
would
to be
have
her
been doing
now
the
with a
dance and
favorite
everything.
tour, you know, but like,
oh my God. I don't, and I mentioned this earlier. I don't have anything love themed at all. These are just things I want to talk about. So let me find which one I want to talk about next because I wrote a list. Let's go with Critters.
Sweet.
oh, yeah.
Oh,
I love the
nice.
Critters movies. They are so insanely fun. I have seen all of them 100 times, and I like I was obsessed with them as a kid because they were kind of to me. My cat's like clawing my blanket. And I'm trying to pick him up so he can just lay up here. Here,
Rupert.
here. There it is, buddy. There it is. Anyway, he likes chewing on soft blankets because he was taken away from his mommy too young. Anyway,
No.
No.
but he has a good home. Don't let him fool you. But anyway, so I love Critters. I was obsessed with Critters as a kid, and I used to make my younger sister watch them because she was so freaked out by them. And then I would like, you know that part when they land and they have like their little language. He's gonna jump down and be a nuisance. When they have like their own language, and it says like it does like the little subtitles where they're talking
Yeah.
about what they're gonna do. And then one of them, in technically it's just in English, you can understand it. He goes food, like, and I used to walk around in the dark and mess with my sister and say that to her because it would freak her out. Every time I would just come around the corner, I would go food, and she'd like freak out every time. And so anyway, I love
No.
Critters. We haven't had a reason to really talk about it too much yet on the channel, and maybe it'll come up in like a top picks or something. But and so I was just like, what's a movie that I love that I never really get to talk about? And it's that one. I love those. I love all of them. Giant ball of critters. I'm here for all of it. It's so much fun.
Yeah, Critters 2 is my favorite. I like the second one. That one's a really good one.
I've
Yeah,
never seen
no,
that.
it is good. It is
Never
really
seen
good.
it.
I love those movies. I rewatched them just last year for the first time in a really, really long time, and I'd forgotten how fun they were. They're really fun movies.
Isn't DiCaprio in one of them?
He's in the
He's in
second,
the third one.
third,
Yeah.
third one.
Yeah, they did 5 of them. There's 4 in the Scream Factory box set. There's 4, and then there's a sci-fi made for TV one with Dee Wallace came back for it.
Yeah.
The
I like Dee Wallace. But yeah, I just randomly wanted to talk about critters, so there's that.
Nice.
Tasha, what you got next that you want to talk about?
So it's probably second on my list after Shaun of the Dead, but also kind of falls in line with the talk about trailers. Barbarian, because I saw the trailer
Sweet.
for that one, and they like, people cannot say that it's impossible to do a good trailer, because if you had seen it, like, you still had no idea what you were walking. You thought you
That
knew
was
what
a
you
good
were
trailer.
walking into.
That was, yeah.
Yeah.
Just
I
stick to
loved
the
it so
first
much.
act for your trailer, and that's all you need.
Yep.
Right.
All you need.
Plus, I love Bill Skarsgård, so there's that too. But
Yeah. I didn't like that movie, so.
But I saw
do
it twice in
agree.
theaters.
I do agree that the trailer was very well done. There's just so few of those now, because
Yeah.
it did set you up
True.
to think like with this very specific thing was happening, and then obviously you go see the movie and it's like it's totally not what you thought.
Yeah,
it was
no,
gonna
it
be.
totally blew my mind with the direction that it went. I'm like, oh, I didn't
Yeah.
expect this at all.
No,
So,
like,
Yeah.
oh my God. I walked in convinced that this was some sort of like government experiment. I was convinced 100% they're going to go down there and all of a sudden it'll be like a lab, like a pristine white lab out of nowhere.
Oh.
Yeah.
And they're going to be like this and that. And they're and I was like,
Very cabin
watch.
in the woods.
Yeah, it's 5, 4, 3, 2, lab. And then sure enough, when Mother comes out of nowhere, I was like, I've never been so happy to be so wrong.
Yeah.
I've never
yeah.
been. I was like, and then it cuts to Justin Long in California. And I'm like,
Cruising down
I have
PCH.
no idea.
What is happening?
It was so refreshing
Yeah.
to just not
Yeah.
have any clue.
I
Yeah.
loved it.
Yeah.
I was sad to see Bill go so early in the film, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, because
he was great.
he's treated like a main character in the trailer. You
Yeah.
think it's gonna be about them the whole movie?
Yeah.
well,
You know?
is Justin Long even in the trailer?
No.
No.
Yeah.
I don't
No.
think so. No.
No. So when
That
people
tape
heard
measure,
that he
though.
was involved, they were like, "Well, what? How?" Like
Yeah,
it
how can you
created a lot of
possibly-
conversation around it. Yeah. Yeah. All right, Norrin, what you got next on your list that you want to talk about?
All right. Let's talk about. Well,
Let's
kind of
go,
already got
Norrin.
brought up.
Steve, we can do more than 6 people, right? Now that we pay a ton of money for this thing,
Oh,
let's
I
see
don't
what
know.
happens.
Try it out. Try it.
We can. We can have more.
Oh.
What's up, JR? How are you?
What's up?
Hey, good. Thanks for joining. How was y'all's live?
Oh, all right. If you guys haven't watched it, please go to watch Hard Eyes in the
We were
movies.
just talking about Hard Eyes.
It was a
I'm so
good
glad I
time.
asked.
Yeah, Rob's the only one that saw it so far.
You need to get sponsored
I'm the
by
only one?
for this because everybody keeps talking about it.
Yeah, you're the only one besides JR
Oh.
that's seen it so far.
Ooh, I
Oh,
watched
yeah.
it today. See what we do is when we do our live stream, if there's something that's in the theater, I go the day of. That way
Yeah.
I go in nice and fresh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So what are we talking about here?
We're talking about we're going to Norrin next, but we're talking about just horror movies that we love.
Okay.
Or, whatever you want to talk about. We don't have rules here at the mausoleum. Tasha, I know you're not on there, but it's bothering me that that's like covering up your thing.
Yeah,
There we
what is
go.
she doing? Tasha.
She's
I'm in bed already.
chilling in bed. She's
Oh,
just
goodness.
she's hanging out
You
without
got you got that Hannibal Lecter masking on and stuff.
Cucumbers, little
Don't
cucumbers on
tell
the
people
eyes.
my secrets.
Pieces of
Yeah.
steak and stuff, raw steak.
Get in here. Come on.
Yeah, so sorry, Norrin, go ahead. What did you
Oh,
have?
no, you're good. No, you're good.
That you
Because
wanted to
I
talk
talk about this a lot anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But
Of
Friday the
course. I
13th.
see, I told you,
Yeah.
Ravi. You're
I have
like
the-
right in, yeah.
Yeah, I have the
He was-
shirt. This is Absolutely, yeah. Like the franchise that made me love horror the way I love horror now. It's because of this franchise. And a fun, awesome news that we got today. Actually, that her name escapes me, that sucks. But
Linda Cardellini, she's the
yeah,
best.
she's gonna play Mrs. Voorhees in the TV show. So that's a great
That's
actress
gonna be
right
cool.
there. And that was a close
Yeah.
second pick for me because my first pick was Carla Gugino, but she was a
Oh.
close second.
She would have been so
So
good.
good.
Yeah. So
She's
we
just
got some cool Friday
phenomenal.
the 13th news today. So Friday the
Awesome.
13th, I love that franchise.
Yeah. No,
You heard
Linda
it in the
Cardellini, she
series.
understands camp. She'll no pun intended, but she'll be great.
Yeah.
Apparently,
No, that's good.
there's rumor for the series that they're actually going to bring the father as well.
Oh my God, it's Joe.
It's
Joe.
This is
Joe.
way too full right now.
Hello.
No, we love it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited for that. I think that's a good casting choice for Friday. We were just talking about the Friday the 13th casting news, Joe, for the show.
With
Linda.
Linda Cardinelli. Oh, I love
Yeah.
her since ER.
Yeah.
And that to me, y'all.
I first saw her on Freaks and Geeks. That's where I first saw her.
I first saw her on Scooby Doo.
Nice.
Pinkies.
Oh, she was also on
Legally
Brokeback
Blonde.
Mountain.
Yeah.
Legally
Yes.
Blonde.
Yeah.
She's been a bunch of stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I knew I assumed we would eventually get to talking about Friday the 13th. I know that's your jam, Norin. All right, Joshua, what else you got on your list that you want to talk
Well,
about?
again, I went with love and
know.
romantic horror. So, and this is maybe more erotic horror than anything, but Lair of the White Worm.
Oh no.
Lair of the what?
The Lair of the White Worm. Amanda Donahue.
Of
Yes.
course, Joe knows this movie. I've never heard of that.
I've movies that fucked me up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and make sure as a guy, make sure you not want to go into a swimming pool with some woman who's trying to seduce you, and that's probably one of the
I mean,
most
I
memorable
never
scenes
want to
in the
go in a
movie.
swimming pool with a woman who wants to seduce me, so that's fine. But this movie was on Sci-Fi all the time, but I never watched it as a kid. And
Yeah.
I finally watched it on Tubi over the Christmas break, and I'm like, because I was like, Peter Capaldi's in this movie. How did I not ever see this movie then? So
Yeah.
Right.
and it's just a lot of fun. It's a fun quasi vampire romp through the UK. So.
And Hugh,
Okay.
what's his face? Right?
Hugh Grant. Yeah,
Hugh
Hugh
Grant.
Grant.
Yeah.
Oh.
A very
What's
young.
It is a movie. It's a movie that I did not expect whenever I saw it on Sci-Fi and flipping through it, I was like, "This is not the movie I expected it to be." And it's really fun. It's a really fun erotic thriller horror.
Interesting.
We saw that when we were kids, JR.
Go ahead.
What?
We saw that when we were kids.
You guys saw that when you were kids? It sounds intense.
Our parents ended up putting, like, the movie started. So you don't understand. Like, our parents would, in the past, would put a movie on, and they'd disappear and go in the kitchen and go do something, and then leave us there watching it. They left us watching so many horror movies, they had no idea. And The Lair of the White Worm was one of them.
Horror movies were our babysitters.
This is why we turned out the way we did.
Our babysitters, for sure.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
These movies raised me.
Exactly.
It's funny though, because like that's one thing I got that we brought that up, Joe. That he brought that up is like we used to rewatch these movies over and over, and we'd get so obsessed with it. And now, because there's so much content, like kids will forget a movie like that, like by next week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where we'd have 2 VHSs for weeks and months, and that was all we'd watch.
Yeah. That's true.
Well,
no, it's a good point.
When we did, it's funny because I had told Rick, hey, I want to do this movie involving this worm, and I had the wrong movie in my head. I was like, I told him The Lair of the White Worm, and he was like, all right. So I looked it up. I go, dude, I told you the wrong movie. So that one's actually another one, but let me watch Lair of the White Worm. And I'm like, oh my God, I forgot all about this movie. But again, listen, Amanda Dawn, if you don't know who she is, she's gorgeous in this movie. Like, I don't care who, even I myself was sat there going, oh, damn, she's hot. So, she even makes you question your own self. And she's been around a lot of things through years. But that's a great movie to bring up. I'm glad I
Yeah.
just popped in at this moment for that one.
Just perfect timing.
Rick would actually love it because, like I said, it created such a clusterfuck. And then I watched the movie. I'm like, so this is the movie where a bunch of nuns get raped. Like these guys walk in and it's all like it goes all insane. I'm like, I totally remember what this movie was. And being growing up Catholic, watching all that was very unsettling,
to say the least.
to say the least.
Well, all right. I've never heard of that movie, so that's a
You
first
should
for
check
me.
it out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think you
So
sold
good.
it enough that
It's
it's like
wild.
not an
No.
angel movie.
Well, no, it's because it's British. It's British
If you like
humor.
Hugh Grant, watch it.
Yeah, it's British
Yeah.
humor, British camp and horror. It's completely different than American. So
It's,
that is
it's,
why
a,
Sure.
it's a young Peter Capaldi. I mean, that's a win right there.
Hugh was cuter. Sorry,
He was.
Hugh was cuter.
Capaldi is
Peter-
more my type. But yeah.
Capaldi was cute in this one, but Hugh was much better.
Oh. All right, Robbie. What else do you want to talk about? What's on your mind?
Oh God. Well, I was just thinking about what you had just said, Noreen, where because we used to back in my hometown, we had one more video store, like a proper video store, and
Yeah.
they just closed it. I think late last year.
Oh
And I
no.
visited my
Oh,
hometown.
snap.
And I was devastated, and I was like, "That is because like kids these days." I feel so old saying that. Like kids these days, but like, they're not going to understand that. Friday school gets out, you walk to your video store, and you spend an
Yeah.
hour just trying to find 2, and maybe 3 if you're really good that week.
Yep.
If you
You
did your
didn't go by the
homework.
covers?
I went. That's all I went. That's all you had. I didn't know what a
Look at
trailer
that.
was.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be like,
Yeah.
hold on,
What the
let me
cover
pull up the
looked
trailer on
like.
my phone. But like, you just like if something was creepy, or if it looked like you look in the back cover and there's images that are not actually in the film or something,
Yeah.
like, all right, 1, 2, 3, go, and that's what you're stuck with. And if it's bad, you watch it. If it's great, awesome. But
Yeah.
the movie that just popped in my head was kind of apropos for the holiday is The Loved Ones, an Australian horror film.
Oh, yeah.
Anyone?
Ooh.
No.
So it's a great horror film by Sean Byrne, who did only one other movie called The Devil's Candy with
Oh, I
Ethan
love
Embry.
that movie.
That's a good
Same
one.
filmmaker. This is I think 6 years before, and it's
Oh.
about a high school kid who is still like I think a year removed from a tragedy in his life,
I've
and he's
seen
like
this
really in
one
a bad.
well.
What's that? Oh, it's so good.
Xavier Samuels.
Yeah, Xavier Samuels, and he oh God, I don't want to give too much. He gets kidnapped by this girl who has a crush on him, who invited him to the prom or whatever they have in Australia, and he said no, politely, kidnaps him and her father put on like the most hellish dance night
Prom,
you've ever
yeah,
seen.
it's intense.
Oh shit.
It's
That sounds
great, and
amazing.
It's an
I'll
awesome
check
movie.
that one out.
It's an
Yeah.
awesome movie. It really is.
great lead
Yes.
performance by Xavier Samuels, but also the actress who plays his date is
Robin
phenomenal.
McLeavy.
Rob McLeavy.
Yeah, she's a good femme fatale for sure.
Yeah, yes, and it's a great balance of like a lot of indie sensibility, but it's also really like a crowd pleaser. You put that on at like party or something if a group of people and everyone's shouting and screaming and
Yeah.
cheering. It's a really cathartic watch. I'll say that much.
And it has a song that will not leave your head after watching it for like
No,
5 days.
You'll know it. You'll know. When you hear it, you'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, that's
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah. I love Devil's Candy. I saw that for the first time last year, maybe the year before. I really liked that one, so I'll have to.
It's really good. Like you wouldn't believe it's the same director. I think Loved Ones is much more. I don't know if subdued is the right word for it, but Devil's Candy is. You know what I mean? It's just like it's less chaotic, I guess, but it's still crazy.
Yeah.
I love the subdued. I don't know if I'd ever use subdued for the loved ones, but
yeah, I'm like I don't know if it's the
but
right
I know
word.
what you mean.
You know
I know
what
what you
mean.
mean.
Well, and I only saw that one because of Xavier Samuels, so.
Oh, gorgeous.
So you know.
All right, well, we'll go to the horror thing, guys, since you guys are joining us just now. We'll go JR first since he beat you here, Joe.
All right, good. Because I was like, wait a minute, hold on.
What movie you want to talk about, or what's on your mind, horror fan? Here we
I'm gonna go a different route. We're gonna go across the seas because for me, like, one of the first films I've watched that made me love international horror, and I mention this movie so much because people really need to watch this film, is I Saw the Devil. If you haven't watched that film,
Nice.
If you
That is rough.
want to go on a roller coaster ride of a
It's
film,
definitely a roller coaster.
I Saw the Devil is one of these films where you don't know what to expect, and the fact that the storyline, the plot, everything that happens in that film is like there's so many scenes in that film that leave you squirming when you watch it.
Yeah.
And just that whole concept of you have an officer whose wife got killed by a serial killer, and he hunts them down, and then basically he tortures them. They play cat and mouse,
Cat and
and then
mouse.
Well, it's revenge horror in a
It
different way.
is.
it is.
Yeah,
And
it's
it
very
has
well done.
We're used to revenge horror in another way. This
And
was a whole other way.
yes.
the guy that plays the villain in this, what's the other big movie that he was in?
Well, he was in that movie with oh my god, with the girl who played Black Widow. Oh my god, what's her name?
Scarlett
Johansson.
Johansson.
He was in Scarlett
No.
Johansson's film where he played the villain in that one too. Yeah,
Yeah, he plays a good villain, I think.
he's been in a bunch of. He plays a lot of villain films. He was also in the old man.
Old boy.
Old
Old
boy.
boy.
Old
Yeah.
Boy.
Old
That's
Boy,
the one I
yeah.
was
He
thinking
was
of.
an Old
That's
Boy.
it. He
Which
was
they
in Old Boy.
see. This is the biggest problem with movies here when they do remakes from international films. They suck.
I'm
The
gonna
originals
say
are always
that.
better. The originals are always better.
I'm like, are we talking about the Asian one? Because neither of those people were not on the cast that I just looked at. So sorry.
For what? For
There's a remake of
I
Old
saw
Boy.
The
Yeah, they,
Devil. And Old Boy.
Spike Lee.
Yes, Old Boy was that's Josh Brolin.
they remade that with him. Yeah.
Yeah.
it was terrible.
So
The original is a lot better. But yeah, for me, I've always been a fan of international horror. I know there's always the debate with Rec versus Quarantine. Rec is a good film. Quarantine's a good film. When that series came out with what's her name? Oh my god, I'm forgetting names. The girl who plays Jennifer Lawrence, where
Oh.
basically is the survivor. The kids
Hunger
get
Games?
Hunger Games. Prior to
Oh.
that one, there was an Asian film called Royal Rumble, which is
Royal
basically
Rumble, yes. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
so those films, then the Hunger Games just came out a little bit afterwards. But for me, international horror is always good to watch because unlike horror films in the States, international horrors are not afraid to push the
To
buttons.
push the boundaries.
Wait, did you mean
Yeah.
Battle Royale, not Royal Rumble?
Battle Royale.
Yeah,
That's
sorry.
it.
I was
I
like,
know.
Royal Rumble. What the hell?
Battle
is this?
Royale.
Listen,
Battle
Steve, we
Royale.
don't correct we don't correct each
Steve
other.
Battle
said
Royale.
nothing for
We just
20
go,
minutes.
yes.
Yeah, no. Battle
Yeah.
Royale.
That was all he was thinking
I was
about.
like, what in the WWE is this?
No, I was watching a Rumble with Chuck. But yeah, I mean, and the thing is, Battle Royale, one of the characters that was in that film was actually in Kill Bill, and she played Gogo.
Coco?
Yeah.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
was in Battle Royale. So for me, I mean, I love international horror films. I think that's something that people need to go visit a little bit more. I mean, we talked about Terrified. Terrified is
Yes.
Love that one.
great
It's
international
so good.
horror. And then what he does next, brings out Terrified, which leaves you freaking shocked with that opening sequence.
Terrified
Mhm.
was so good.
And he was like, "Well, I'm going to do was it Where Evil Lurks, and I'm gonna top the opening sequence that I did in Terrified." So,
I cannot. So good. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I mean, for me, international horror definitely should be visited more. There's
Yeah.
great international horror every year.
Yeah.
Like I surprised Joe and Rick. I recommended an international horror film, an Australian film called Violet, and that movie it's a slow
recommended
burn.
it, watched it, and didn't show up to review
Yeah, I
it.
got
But it-
sick.
we-
I couldn't
no, it's
review it.
okay. It's okay. No, because we actually it was fun because we said this dick didn't show up to review it, but he wants to hear us say how much we love it, and he did. We actually ended up loving that movie.
Wait, somebody other than Joe didn't show up?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Hold
is
on.
this Tasha who
JR
sent the
JR
hurricanes to my way? I gotta go.
No.
I didn't know
JR
Tasha
Bales.
was on here.
JR Bales all the time. Every time I've been set to record with him, like 6 times in a row, he's not there.
Oh,
True.
That's true.
So
That's
first
true.
of all,
We do the VHSs.
Well, it's funny. Hold on, JR. It's funny because I actually, for some reason, I was at work and I had our horror theme page up, and Terrified showed up. I go, that's the fucking movie that Tasha sent the hurricane my way, and I wasn't able to record with them. And then there's Tasha on my screen, so I'm like going, is this? Because our picture's not on here. At least I'm like, is this the same Tasha? Because I should go board up right now. because a hurricane is coming my fucking way.
So the going
Probably.
joke at Horror Fiend TV is that every
Is
time
that
we plan for Tasha to come on with Joe,
I get a hurricane.
a hurricane always shows up
And
in
it happened
Florida.
the last time too.
it did? It
It's not
happened
even a
more than
joke.
once.
Yes.
It's not a joke. Like I'm scared to put her on our schedule now because we get a hurricane. I lose power. I lose internet. I can't do anything.
You gotta
And
do
I
it
realized
during
that
hurricane off
that we
season.
invited Tasha.
It's Tasha's fault.
Powers I didn't even know I had.
And the hurricanes are getting stronger every time.
They are.
Dun dun dun.
Tasha's wrath.
That's right.
Well, Joe, what's the movie you want to talk about?
Oh God, you're asking. I mean, so wait, why? I thought so. This is why we love horror, right? Or
Sure, you can tell me why you love horror. Angel is. I mislabeled the thing, so we're just gonna whatever you want to talk
all
about.
right, because my brain went. I'm like, well, because I'm like, then you asked the wrong person. Because remember, I love like shit that's just way out
Yeah.
there. In the crew, I'm the one that watches like the stuff that most people don't watch. So, if I'll keep it tame, keeping with JR's, and if Rick is watching, he hates when I do this, but Hot Tension, or
Oh yeah.
I am all about like the kind of movies that when you're watching it, you're like, should I stop?
Yeah.
And then you're like, no, I'm gonna keep going further. How much further can I go with this? Like I have seen movies that JR and Rick. Okay, who here has seen a Serbian film?
No.
Yeah, unfortunately.
We got two. We got only two, right?
I regret it every single day, but
How often do images pop into your head like randomly out of nowhere?
maybe like once every few weeks for sure.
Yeah.
This is
More
why
than
I
I'd
haven't
like.
seen
You
it.
Steve? Yeah, exactly. So
Joe
like,
said, "You see."
You see, that's why we watch those movies. It's because like
This
it's
is
kind
why
of
I
cool when
watch
you
those
see a movie
movies.
that just sticks with you forever.
This
I
one
mean,
will, yeah.
I finally
Yeah.
convinced Joe last year to watch Martyrs, the French one.
Oh, I
Ooh,
was just talking
Nice.
about Martyrs last night with Rick. I love
masterpiece.
Martyrs. That's one of my favorites.
that was just listen. And I don't know if I have to, so me with horror, I'm not a fan. I know we watch horror movies because usually the protagonist is a female. I am not for a woman to be overly beaten, overly tortured.
Yeah, it's a hard watch.
Definitely not for rape. So
Oh yeah, no, I don't watch. Yeah,
I've been a lot of the ones that I watch have that.
I know. That's why I don't watch them.
I know, but I am all about revenge as well.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
like for me, with the horrors that I love, all right. So horror is meant to push your boundaries.
Yeah.
Horror is meant to, when you're watching it, your skin should sometimes crawl.
Yeah.
You should sometimes, depending what version you want to go, clutch your pearls or gasp. But for me, like this like horror teaches you what not to do.
Yeah.
I think I've said it on a couple of live streams that I swear to God, if somebody breaks into my house, they're fucked. I have so many weapons hidden around my house because of horror movies. We reviewed You're Next, all about
Oh,
Aaron.
I love that movie.
Listen, Aaron is my superhero. Like literally, horror movies are meant to teach us what to do, what not to do. I will never go to it. If you guys want to do some horror weekend and say, hey, we rented a cabin over at Pigeon Forge.
You're like, hell no. I'm out.
Oh, Pigeon Forge is right by me. We got to do that.
No, listen, I only threw Pigeon Forge because I actually stayed at Pigeon Forge. It was nice. However, at the same time, when I was outside smoking, I'm like, I swear to God, some killers out there watching right now. And I'm sitting there, and again, it's actually thank God JR's here, because usually in those situations, I'm like, I'm so fucked. I'm the only minority here. Like they go up first in a horror movie. So, I like look around and I'm like, I'm so fucked in this situation. Thank God that I already know that I'm gonna trip my friend as we're running from the killer. But yes, I mean, so Hot Tension is one.
Yeah.
It's hard when you're put on the spot.
It is hard when you're
Put on the spot. We've been talking about this for 3 days.
Well, he's starting off because Tasha, you're here.
I know.
I'm still here. Wait, I think I just heard the wind whistling or picking up outside.
Although to be fair, I'm pretty sure you slept through Terrified.
You did. There was one you slept through. I remember
Yeah,
that.
you were like
I
passed out on the
remember.
couch.
Oh, was it for
And
that
your
one?
neighbor had to
I
come
think
wake
that was
you up or
Terrified.
something.
I'm so glad everybody remembers those. I just want to say I am no longer that person. We have made changes in our lives. Because here's the thing. What I always think about Angel is that when we had one of our first guests, Angel came on, and I was like all kinds of sheets to the wind, and very competitive. And I just found that
No.
after a while that me and Angel actually think exactly the same. So we would review things like JR and Rick are all like, "Oh shit, we got Angel in the show." And then we're reviewing it, and they're like, "These two are getting along against us right now. What's going on?" But yeah, no.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yes, there was that one time and I thought about that the other
Yeah,
day.
see? That's why you get hurricanes, because you slept through the
Yep.
first time.
Yep.
Well, in Florida, when they say hurricane, your three main things to get is beer, alcohol,
Toilet
and water.
paper. Oh.
No, I have a bidet.
My
Oh
bad.
yes, I remember the
Keep it
cut of that
clean.
video where you guys were talking about that on Horror Fiend. Was it Horror Fiend?
Yes.
Anyway, well,
I know.
I
I'm
don't
sorry.
know. You
Go ahead.
guys, am I the only one that plays Dead by Daylight in this group?
I watch my
Yeah.
boyfriend play it.
Okay. So Dead by Daylight just released their they do a 2v8 where you get 2 killers and 8 survivors. It comes out every so often. Anyway, long story short, I was telling Nora and Tasha this. I'm just telling you guys the same thing. So it just released like this week and it's all Resident Evil themed. They add the Resident Evil killers, all the Resident Evil people got new outfits. So long story short, I'm not going to stay on as long as normal. So I figure because we have to go play Dead by Daylight. It's the like my first character on there was Jill Valentine. I even got her ugly Christmas sweater this year. Or well, I guess technically it was last year. But anyway, so I figure with that being said, I know you guys just joined because I know y'all had your other live, Joe and JR, but I figure we'll do like another round of just quick shouts and then we can wrap up.
Cool.
I didn't want to keep anybody too long because just being transparent, I really want to go play video games. As much as I love talking to you guys, they don't listen.
Angel, this is why we got along because we're actually very upfront, direct.
Listen, they get me addicted to these fucking video games and then they don't play them anymore. And so when I get opportunities to go back and play the games I want to play, they did it to me with Dead by Daylight. They did it to me with Phasmophobia, Sons of the Forest. We just started doing the back rooms. I was like, I'm telling y'all right now, if we get to start playing back rooms and y'all give up, I'm gonna be pissed. Like I'm tired of y'all getting me into these games and not playing with me. So anyway,
before you jump in, I'm looking right now. Hold on. So we got Robbie. Robbie, you're doing the monkey, right?
Hell yeah.
Norin, I'll see you next week for Ghoulies.
That's right. 40th
you're
anniversary.
gonna go do Ghoulies on Horror Fiend also, Norin?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
JR, Angel, and Steve haven't still gotten back to us on.
No,
Tasha,
What
I'm
are we
good.
supposed to get back to you on?
Whatever you want to jump on.
Tasha,
I'm good with you. Tasha, I don't need a hurricane. No, I'm only kidding, Tasha.
I did.
But hurricane season.
But Sidekick Productions, that should jump on it. Like if you check our channel, if anything you would want to jump on. But yes, I'm gonna go ahead. Like Angel and Steve have not jumped on in a while.
Because I didn't like any of the choices. I don't like Ghoulies. Sorry.
Are you gonna go see the monkey?
No, not in theaters. Y'all, I have a 6-year-old. I can't just go to the movies whenever I want to.
When are you recording the monkey?
Yeah, Steve
Actually,
can
by the way,
represent voices.
Oh, I guess we are live. By the way, I don't know if you guys have Regal Cinemas. Well, I don't know if you guys have.
How many drinks did he have on the live, JR?
Actually,
Rick wasn't there, so he doesn't drink much when he first got there.
I did try January, and after I did try January, we have now. I am down to.
By dry January, was it just like
I didn't drink any alcohol.
It
was California. It was California, okay, motherfucker. But no, I did. I'm sorry.
Listen.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that, but no, I'm only on my 3rd beer, believe it or not. So
I just didn't see anything. I'm going back to look at it now. I did look at it, I promise.
I know I'm just messing with
Tasha,
you.
did you see Ruth Anna's new cover?
I did not.
You see it?
Kinda under the how long we've been live for.
Hmm.
Is that a Medusa head?
It is called Rage.
Yes.
Anyway, how do I
And
find it? It's a group, right?
Yeah,
I
it's Horror Fiend.
so Steve, we're going to be recording, or I'm sorry, going live on the 27th for the monkey.
Oh, okay. I'll probably see it by then.
I can't find it, Joe. Oh, groups.
Just get Joe's face.
What day is the
It's
27th?
not even on the group. It's always a Thursday. If we're gonna do any
Where-
recordings,
It's not in the group.
it's you're in our Facebook.
I know. I can't
think
find it.
that
What's the name of
basically
the page?
the group is called Horror Fiend TV and co-host. Yeah, I created a page for everybody else who's.
I know. I just can't find.
Nice.
Yeah, I can't find it.
But yeah, Steve, if you want to join, I told him I'm just giving you guys a hard time.
I
I
know
did,
you are.
I did
Well,
look
no,
at the list.
and
It
I'm
was
gonna get-
on
I'm
new. It was
I'm
on
gonna
new
get-
stuff.
I'm
and
gonna give
Ghoulies.
Angel her thing. Yes, Angel dealt with me a couple of years so far. No, Angel, I promise you, I'm only on my third beer.
We're
But that's-
coming up.
that's-
We're actually Horror
I
Fiend and
know.
Voices is coming up on their 3-year anniversary.
I know. I think about that. Like
Aw.
we've been working together.
Yeah, we've been
All-
doing.
all-
We're still here.
we're still here.
Which means Steve and I are also Voices is also 3 years old.
Wow. Well,
3, 4. I'm sorry, 4.
yeah. Well, you did it what 2 years before I came on?
Well, I
But
still,
this is
I
Voices
still-
4-year anniversary.
Yeah.
Like this week
Wow.
is the 4-year shit.
Oh
We
wow.
should do something. We should
Yeah,
probably
it's like
talk
you
about
guys-
it. Anyway,
So I think you guys were before us.
yeah. But it was just me talking into the ether
Yeah.
about crazy stuff. Now look at it.
Look at you.
It's a party.
It's like,
You're doing
It's
awesome.
still
Right?
You're
talking
doing
crazy
awesome.
just with friends.
But we're
Alright,
the Brady
we'll
Bunch
do-
over here.
Let's do. Joe, can you resend me the list when we're done?
I will.
Resend me the
I'm
list.
sorry. I didn't mean to throw you off. Yes, I was
Ah.
thinking,
Just kidding. Just kidding.
you invited.
Um,
This is what you guys when you invite me. Of course, I'm going to give you a hard time.
No, I'm
But
just
that's what-
kidding.
that's
We
I
love
know,
that
but
y'all are here. We've never
our
had this many
dynamic.
people on a live stream. It's very exciting.
I know. I
Well,
sat there.
it's
It's
all
funny because I messaged Rick. I go, she's got 8 people. God damn it! I kept
It's
it
going
to
well.
6. I kept it to 6. It's been hard with 6 people. I'm like, should I try 8 people? I'm like, I don't know because
It's
I'm the
fine.
one
I
that
think it just
handles.
depends.
It depends on
just-
what you're doing.
We haven't been doing content. We both have had life things, so it's been hard to do like our content at a normal pace. And so
Yeah, oh, yeah,
like
no, I know.
we miss our horror friends. You guys are like family to us, and we
I
don't get to
messaged you
just
the
pop
other
on all the
day.
time. Yeah,
messaged
so
you the
I
other
know you did. I literally recorded with Rick last night. We did top 5 horror body horror
And he
movies.
messaged
But
me and goes, he's like, I just finished recording with Angel. You know, she wants to do you and JR. And I'm
yeah,
like,
well, everybody. It's an open
oh no,
invitation.
no, we'll do it. But I sat there and I'm like, that's really funny because I was just messaging with her.
I
saying,
said the same
"Yay!"
thing. I said it's so weird because Joe just messaged me this week to make sure things were cool and like I was okay. And I was like, yeah, you guys are just talking about stuff I haven't seen. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
We have update. Oh, that's what's gonna. So if anybody has Regal Cinemas around them, by the way,
Mhm.
think about it the same way as you think about it as an app. So Regal Cinemas offers you if you pay
This is not a sponsored live.
It's not. It's not at all. It's just a benefit for us people who don't afford to be able to go to movies that often. But so Regal Cinemas, you do like $22 a month. It's unlimited. And because Adam's like, well, I don't know
didn't know
about
that.
that. Yeah, I didn't either. He's like, oh, I don't know about that. I'm like, we're literally gonna go twice this month. Go see 2 movies. That shit would have bought us our membership. We would have gotten 10% off. That
You go
fucking
twice, it's
popcorn.
paid for itself. No, you're right.
It does. It does. So yes,
You're
if
right.
anybody's ever thinking about like as far as going to the movies, because as Angel, as you just said, it involves it money wise.
Yeah,
Let's be
it's a-
honest.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
It's expensive.
when I went by myself, I saw the Wolfman by myself, and I spent $30. I'm like, I was alone. Like,
I have no one to blame but myself.
it was medium popcorn. How did I spend it? But yes.
Well, concessions
yes.
where they're getting you.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so all jokes aside, if like if you have a Regal around you, they offer
That's a good idea.
this-
We do in the
this-
South. Tasha and I should both have one around us.
Yeah,
for
so
sure.
Yeah, I've
it's-
got
it-
one.
Yeah.
So it's basically unlimited for the month.
Okay.
So in other words, for you Marvel comic book fan people, you see that Marvel movie and you want to see it again and again, you can't. So yeah, no. Well, no. I told Adam, I'm like, I'm gonna figure it out. I'm like, all right. So I just won't get like taquitos like 2 more times a month. That's gonna pay for that. I'll lose more weight now. Trying to get to the movies.
All right, let's do a wrap up so I can go play Resident Evil Dead by Daylight. I love you guys so much. All right, let's do Tasha. Do a shout. One more that you want to talk about real quick.
Fresh.
Oh, that's
Sweet.
a good one.
Fantastic.
That's a good
I
one.
love it so much. It's just like legit funny. And
Was this one we live texted through, or I think I live texted you because I saw it after you. I think.
I can't remember. I know we did a recording for it.
Yeah.
This
was good.
But yeah, it's such an accurate representation of like dating these days. And at the end when she's just like, he was married.
No,
It's
that
so
he
good.
ate his wife's leg.
Yes. Oh, it was just it was
Love.
so good. I loved
Yeah.
it so much.
Good shout. That's about love too. Good shout. That's a good one.
Yes.
Norn, what's one more you want to get in?
Let's see. Let's get this one in right here. This one, Killer Clowns from Outer Space,
Oh, I love
mainly
that movie
because
so much.
yeah. And then I got the poster right there.
I
The
see
poster's
it.
right there.
Yeah.
But this is the first horror movie I ever showed my son, and he got obsessed with this. This was like every day for 2.5 weeks. He was like,
I
"Dad,
love
can we
that.
watch Killer Clowns? Dad, can we watch Killer Clowns?" And yeah, so I bought the 35th anniversary pack, had the enamel pins, splurged 2 slip covers for whatever reason, even though I only got one. There's only one box. I'll have to buy a DVD of this and put the slip cover over it just for shits or something.
That's cool. I love that. I love that that was the first one. I showed mine Jaws too early. That's a good one though. That's a good one. That's a fun one. Yeah.
Two
All right,
things really
Joshua.
quick.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I'm
Yeah.
so sorry, really quick. 2 things.
Yeah.
Number one, I just saw that movie for the first time just
Really?
a few months ago. Just a few months ago, I know. And number 2, get ready to I'm going to blow your mind. As a kid, me and my sister did kind of dance classes, like jazz and musical theater and stuff like that. Our dance teacher, Jimmy Locust, is the short clown.
Shorty? Oh wow,
Shorty,
that's
yep.
fantastic.
Yep, and he had like a fun coat. He was like, yeah, "This is me," and I was like, "No, fucking." And I looked at the cast and I was like,
Yeah.
"What?"
He's telling the truth. You looked him up.
Not only that,
That's
he waited
amazing.
until just a few years ago to tell us that, and I was like, "How did you keep that under wraps for the whole time?"
That's crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I love
Crazy.
that movie. That's a fun one. All right, Joshua, what's one you want to get in before we move?
Well, again, and for those just joining, I selected a list of movies which were romantic themed for
Right,
horror.
as you should.
Not necessarily my favorite horror movies ever, but they're ones that came to mind for love. And it just came out, but Nosferatu.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't
Yeah.
seen that yet.
It's another.
know.
See, I've also obviously been watching a lot of gothic and erotic horror films because the contract is coming up. So I'm getting in the mindset for my queer gothic erotic horror film.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go follow Joshua and help get the word out about his movie. They start filming in just about a little over a
Nice.
week, right?
A week from
Yeah.
tomorrow. So
a week
yeah.
from tomorrow. So yeah.
But Nosferatu is a great.
So good.
It's a great romantic movie. I think. I mean, there's a lot of love in it. So
Way too much mustache.
Oh no.
There's a lot of
I haven't
mustache.
seen it. Am I the only one? Am I the only one that hasn't seen it?
I saw it, but
That's good.
Everybody's seen it but me?
yeah.
I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're the only one. Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all,
Steve, did you
don't
see
have
it?
if it I know people
did
are
you
like,
see it?
we need
I saw.
yeah, he said it was good. People are like, oh, we shouldn't be putting stuff to streaming, and I'm like, thanks a lot, guys. I'll never fucking see it if it doesn't come out to streaming. So like, I
I know,
have to
but-
wait.
So Angel, if you get that the whole thing I told you about, again, we're not trying to. You can still take your kid out to a movie and then go catch your movie, and basically.
He's 6, Joe.
they have kids movies. In other words, you go to the theater, you can go see like How to Train Your
I'm not gonna
Dragon.
leave them alone in a
I'm
theater.
not gonna leave him. Yeah,
No, I
especially
said to leave them alone.
what can I go see
Said
Nosferatu
I
after?
just meant that if you get that account, you can take your kids to see kids movies, and then you can see your adult movies. I never said
I
leave your
see.
kid alone.
Two separate
Yeah,
instances. I
no
follow
one,
here now.
y'all just put words in my own mouth. I cut
It
you.
definitely sounded like abandon your
Trying to
child
follow
in a
you a
movie
lot there.
theater.
We're like, me and Steve were
I
like,
took my
what?
child to the movie theater. He cringed going to the movies with me, but I took my
Yeah.
child to the movie theaters.
All right, Robbie, what's the one you want to get in before we wrap up?
Oh my god! All right, so first of all, if you go back to the slide, my eyes are like pinwheels because I'm thinking about Terrified was brought up, which made me think of Terrifier. Then Joe brought
Yeah.
up the idea of boundaries in horror movies, which made me think about Leone's Facebook
Mhm.
statement recently.
Ugh.
Oh
And
yes.
so I can't even get into it, but it just made me think about like are there boundaries in horror movies, and what
Yeah.
is in poor taste?
There is
how
not.
is there?
Literally,
I
I
don't know.
promise you, there's not.
I don't know because like I was thinking about I Saw the Devil, and I was like, international filmmakers seem much more uh, they seem bolder to like kind of cross those lines
Yes.
and make their movie over 2 hours in doing it. But anyway,
Mhm.
speaking of foreign films, so the one that just came in my head was Housebound.
Oh yeah, Seth
I love
MacFarlane.
And,
that
Jared just did
movie.
Jared. Oh, thank you. All right. Jared did a Housebound
Yeah,
episode.
me and Radar
I
did
love
a review
that
on it.
movie.
I love
It's
it
so
because
good.
number one, same director as Megan, Gerard
As
Johnstone, I
Megan.
think his name
No.
was.
Yeah,
But it's that same kind of balance of
so good.
horror and comedy, and it's like a great
Comedy.
spin on the haunted house movie. I don't want no spoilers for who
Yeah,
hasn't
no
seen it,
spoilers.
but
Yeah.
it's one of those movies where, and I'm also thinking of What Lies Beneath too, both haunted house
Oh, I
movies,
love that one too.
and both of them,
with Michelle Pfeiffer.
Michelle
Michelle
Pfeiffer,
Pfeiffer.
Oh,
mwah,
that's a fucking
brilliantly filmed movie. But like in both of those cases,
Scary Movie included that one in there, but they made fun of it. By the way,
it's scary. Yes, yes,
Tim Curry.
Yes.
Yeah.
it's so
Yeah.
good. But in
Yeah.
both of those cases, where the movie starts and where it ultimately ends,
Mhm.
it's almost impossible to kind of you watch the final 10
Yep.
minutes, you're like, how the fuck did we even get here?
I know.
Like, by the credits, like you're like you think back at where you started, but yeah, those two movies I love, and I just rewatched them recently.
Housebound is super good.
I
It's
still have to see that one.
Such
for a
fun
movie to
movie.
be hysterical and scary,
Spooky.
when so few movies can do one or the other.
That was so good.
That's
I
impressive.
and to me, like, I'm not a horror comedy person. I'm really weird about those types of things.
Yeah.
I went into it thinking it was more like a horror movie, and for me to have gone in, I ended up not being disappointed. It really was just a fun. There's another movie, and I won't say the name of it because I do think Housebound has a very big twist in it. There's
Yeah.
another horror movie that came out that attempted to do what Housebound did, and it sucked. It sucked so bad, and they made a sequel. But Housebound is where it's at. That's a good shout. I love it.
What's well no
I'll message
yeah,
you.
I'll follow up. Yeah.
No.
Jared's
Yeah.
funny with what they just mentioned because we just finished Hard Eyes, which
Yeah.
turned out to be a romantic comedy horror movie. So, like with the comedy, like that was it's. I like horror comedy if it's done right.
Has to be done.
It
Right.
has to
Has to be
be
done right.
even.
All right,
Yeah.
so Housebound. So are you saying that one's a hard? So
Oh, it's good. Housebound is fun to watch.
It's
So
a
you haven't
super
seen
fun
it?
movie. Yeah.
No.
Oh, it's
But
wonderful.
so have you seen The Blackening?
Yes.
Yeah,
Not
that one's
yet.
fun.
And that movie
Oh, I'm
killed me.
excited. I
Oh my-
want to see that one.
It
Love
slayed
The
me
Blackening.
20 different ways.
Okay. I relate to The Blackening. I'm sorry, Angel. I know you went around. I relate to The Blackening because I get the humor, especially being Puerto Rican minority stuff that they say in there. That movie is so smart in so many ways. It's literally I will be flipping through, and if I see Blackening, I'll put it on. I don't care where it's on.
Yeah.
Like it's. But I will. If you have not seen Hard Eyes, it does comedy and horror right.
Yeah.
It does.
That
yeah.
is a
Okay.
hard thing to do. I mean,
I plan to see it.
Happy Death Day is a
Love
good.
that one.
Totally Killer. That one, if nobody saw that one actually, especially for us '80s kids, you
Yeah.
should check it out. But horror comedy, it's a hard thing to do because either it's too stupid, which then you have to go
Yeah.
into the scary movie route, but yeah, so that was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
JR, what's another one you want to get in before we wrap up?
If I don't mention found footage, and then you know, my presence here is it's not me, but Grave Encounters. I always talk
Yeah.
about Grave Encounters.
Yeah.
Grave Encounters is a great
So good.
film to watch. Even the sequel I enjoyed, you know, but it wasn't as good as the original.
Not even
Which I'm
close.
kind of glad they only did 2 films because
Jesus.
they didn't
Yeah.
have to continue. But for me, Grave Encounters is a good film because it is a mockumentary type horror film.
Yeah.
It makes fun of Ghost Adventures.
Yeah.
If you go in and not realize they're making fun of
Lance
Ghost
is
Adventures,
definitely Zach Bagans.
yes, over the top and stuff.
Yeah.
It's a great found footage, and found footage. Me and Angel are big found footage horror movie fans. Our
Yeah.
first film,
The King and Queen.
we love our found footage horror. I give a shout out to Steve because he did Night Shot recently, and that film should be talked about more because the fact that it was done all in one take.
Yeah.
And the fact that that film, it's almost like you're there when you're watching the film because it is. They're doing basically a live blog while you're watching it.
I was surprised
And
how much I enjoyed it.
the crazy
Yeah, it's
part is
better that you covered it then and not me.
I reviewed it, and the director of the film actually replied to the post and stuff.
Yeah.
Thank me for
He reached out to us about an
Yeah.
interview, and I'm pretty sure he's not English speaking,
no.
or
I think it's French.
we
Is it
couldn't
French?
we couldn't figure it out. Long story short, we couldn't figure it out. So
No, it's a good film. It's a good film.
yeah.
And it's a fun watch. But yeah, Grave Encounters for me. I mean, I love the found footage horror genre. I think is one of the most creative out of all the genres because they
Agreed.
could go any route with it, and they have a little bit for everybody. I mean,
Yeah.
there were
Yeah.
times where me and Angel will watch horror, like found footage stuff, and it'll look bad when you see the cover. You're like, oh, this is surprisingly good. So, I mean, found footage horror still continues to evolve and it still continues to get better. Like if you haven't seen hashtag Chad gets the axe, that's a good fun found footage film
silly
to
one.
watch. It's a
Yeah.
silly one, but the whole thing of the movie, it's not the film you're watching. You're reading the comments people put. Basically, you're looking how social media acts when things happen. But yeah, Grave Encounters, definitely watch it.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Love
Yeah.
it.
What about you, psychologist? What you got?
Me, I mean, if you guys didn't mention it right now, so my newest standard is going to be The Substance.
Oh, okay.
It's great.
Score.
Good shout.
And Angel, I'll get with you because Rick already told me he recorded with you last night.
Yeah.
She said he's like, Angel wants you guys on. I'm like, of course I'm gonna do body horror. I'm the fucking gross one in the group.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the substance. So here's the bad thing about The Substance. Before the horror, a woman put herself out there for all of us to see her at the most
Yeah.
barest
Oh,
that she can be. This is the horror of society where a woman, if you're over at this point, let's go 40. Shit, you can even fucking lower that at 30 the way that social media is.
I don't
But
want to talk
woman
about
in
it.
a woman in her 60s put herself out there. And if you guys haven't seen this movie, there's only 2 things of this woman that you did not see. I don't want to get vulgar, but it just showed you again, body horror is still one of the best parts of horror because yes, you got the
Yeah.
slasher, yes, you got this, but when something goes wrong with your freaking own body, that's a
Yeah.
whole other horror. And I'm so glad we're living in a time right now that come the Oscars, at least me, is going to be sitting there and waiting if
Yeah.
Claire, the only woman to be nominated for Best Director, by the way. All the rest of them are all men. Demi Moore, who has done incredible work through her
So much
year,
stuff. Yeah.
is now finally getting recognition. And unfortunately, the recognition, oddly enough, is because she was so bare. But yes, The Substance is now, for me, set the par as it comes to body horror. I am a body horror person. I hate shit happening to ourselves. Teeth
Yeah.
is the biggest thing.
Me
You
too.
know, but
I
yes.
hate teeth ones. Yeah.
Anything
Yeah.
involving, as soon as you see the teeth, you're like, oh
Ugh.
no, it's going bad. We're
Um,
going. Yeah, so The Substance is for me
Good
right
shout.
now the newest, basically the echelon sitting for horror. it's grossness, but not just
Yeah.
that.
There's more
You
to it.
know, horror has humanity, and that's literally what horror is tied into. Is what
Yeah.
we as humans go through.
Yeah. Tasha, Rob is back. He says y'all are still talking and you've multiplied.
Multiplicity.
Freaking Rob.
No, just joking.
Oh, Steve, did you have any other one you wanted to throw in real quick?
Yeah. I'll keep my picks queer. One of my favorite films in the last couple of years was I saw the TV Glow.
Still
I
haven't
still have to
seen
see
that.
that one.
And I'm
It's really
thinking
good.
about it because I
beautiful.
started my Buffy rewatch because it's coming back. And
Joe, now's our
Wait a
time.
minute. What's going on here? What do you mean? Like, is Steve doing a Buffy show?
No, he's just doing that on his own.
Oh, yeah, Steve.
I mean, I guess you could if you wanted to, but yeah.
Yeah,
No, I was
no.
saying-
It's me
I'm
and
just
you. It's
watching
me and
it.
you.
It's me
It's
and
me and you. It's me and you. No, I know this is Voices of Horror. It's not
Yeah,
Horror
and
Fiend
then-
TV. But
and
I'm just saying
Joshua-
that no.
Joshua and I are talking about me finally suffering through the Angel series and talking about it. He convinced me.
How
He was
have
like,
you
I
not
think you
watched
should
the Angel
watch it.
series yet?
I
There's
think Angel's great, but
there's
Do you know
there's
what? Do you know? You don't understand what Charisma Carpenter went through for that one.
she has the best character arc in all of the
Yes,
Buckyverse.
yes.
So
That's what I keep hearing.
Considering how much of a like character she was in Buffy, yeah.
I
She
actually
ain't-
still really loved her in Buffy though, because I
I
Oh, I loved her in
do.
Buffy.
Yeah,
That
she's
would've
good in
been
Buffy.
I've heard. I mean, I've seen bits and pieces. I know some of the story elements, but Joshua and I were literally maybe a month ago, we're
Yeah.
talking about this, and I was like, well, let's do it. Maybe we'll do a show on it because I've never seen. The only season I watched was the one Spike was in, which was the final season. I didn't
Yeah.
watch any of the ones before it.
Oh.
Yeah, all the Cordelia stuff when they bring back Drusilla and Darla.
Darla.
So good.
Darla,
So good.
yeah.
I
But,
like Darla.
she's
Sorry.
But
she's
yeah, but anyway, I want to say, I saw the TV Glow was, I think, phenomenal. It was like one of the only horror movies where I like ugly cried in it. Because I think that's also like why I love horror. Like, yes, it's a thrill and whatever, but it also like
Yeah.
supposed to like
It's
hold a mirror to the
existential,
soul.
isn't it?
mhm.
What?
Yep.
Existential.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like it's
Yeah,
really is.
it's that type of horror.
Yeah, it holds a mirror to the soul, and like it was specifically it was the scene in the movie where like they're recording episodes of the Pink Opaque, and they're like trading VHS tapes, and then they're like sharing notes about the mythology, and I'm like, wow, like as a queer person who like both like found themselves through like weird teen supernatural shows and like
Yeah.
hid from themselves through queer teen supernatural shows. Like it was just so like it was the most I have ever felt seen by a movie as a queer person, and I was like, damn, like this is why
That's what I keep hearing.
It's a
horror
beautiful,
is
beautiful film.
important.
And
And
isn't it very I know it's queer oriented, but isn't there also like trans plot?
It's a trans allegory.
See,
It's
that
actually
was-
it's
that
more,
was-
yes, it's more trans allegory.
It's more
but
trans
there's a queer part.
oriented for
Okay,
sure. than
so-
there
but
are
at the
trans
same time, the
characters.
word is never said. It's never spelled out, which means
Sure.
that people can watch it
Kind
and
of.
find
Well,
themselves.
the only
they can
reason
apply
I
it to
asked is
different ways.
because I had been told that, and it was actually on like my partner had shared interest in it for that reason. So I was just curious if it was
Yeah.
if that was true or not, because I haven't
The
seen
color
it. But that's-
palette
yeah.
it is the trans flag. So
Yeah.
Oh,
think of that
okay,
what you
cool.
will. But no,
Cool.
I echo that saying. For anyone
Yeah,
who's watching in 2025, this is an important film
I
to
need
see
to watch
for
it.
sure.
Yeah, I need to watch it.
Yeah.
Well, I have like 30 I didn't get to, so I'm just gonna rattle them off. The Collector. Joe and I both have strong feelings about
We
those
still
movies.
have to do that one. I mean,
Well,
that's
they keep teasing us and making us think they're gonna do a third one. So we
third
keep
one.
Waiting.
I know. We should. Well, hey,
Let's
I
just
will
do the
commit.
first two.
I'll commit to this. If you're gonna do it on your channel, you want to do an episode on Collector. Saturdays is a good night for me to record, where I'm not doing 3 corners of horror.
Okay.
So I will offer myself up on the pedestal to
10-4.
record that
You got
for
it. You got it.
Same thing with Buffy. We're gonna have to do Buffy. On
We
a
are
Saturday.
gonna do a Buffy breakdown. No,
It's
we
gonna have
are.
to be
I
on
just gotta.
Saturday.
I gotta rewatch it. I gotta finish rewatching.
Same.
part two.
And I told you that we should rewatch it from the beginning and do season
I
by
am watching.
season.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yes. But anyway, yes.
All right. So the other ones are Mad God,
Ooh.
Love that one. The Seventh Day, which is one of the only original possession movies that's come out in the last 10 years. Um, Cursed, which is also known as A for
With
Silver, werewolf
wait,
movie.
is that the one with Christina Ricci and
No,
Jesse?
No, it's a newer
that's
film.
Cursed.
Different werewolf.
Oh,
Same,
oh.
yeah.
Different
Different
werewolf.
one.
But yes,
Same
they have
name, but different
similar
movie.
similar names.
I did like that one.
I
By
know.
the way, so.
That one's super fun. The werewolf, oh, I love it. So good.
I
Judy
love that one.
Greer, give me a
Oh
break.
my god! Thank you,
Iconic.
thank you.
Um,
Sorry.
So good. I also have shockingly another werewolf movie on here, Werewolves Within. I love that one.
Love
Um,
that
Yeah.
one.
This one I watched because of JR, I believe. Incident in a Ghostland. And then I
Oh my
put
God.
Lake Placid and 48 Meters 1 and 2.
Wait, Lake Placid with
Betty White.
Betty
White.
White.
Well,
that
I'm
is
rooting for the
probably
alligator. I hope he chomps your friend's heads off.
so that as far as creature features involving an animal, that's probably one of the best ones.
It's so
And-
good.
Oh yes,
Love it.
yes.
It's so good. No, it's so good.
Yeah.
Rob said no, not Matt. All of the Mad God. I love that movie. Phil Tippett. I forgot how you
Tippett.
pronounce his last name.
Yeah.
Genius. Loved it. So good. So many cool symbolic things about life and death and the journey of life, and it's so good. I loved it. Anyway, all right. Well, I'm gonna go play Dead by Daylight.
It's like Dead by Daylight.
Thank you guys. This was fun. This is like the biggest panel we've ever had. So we have Tasha, who's invisible, Norin, Joshua
hurricane over
Pangborn,
here.
Robbie Hard, Joe the psychologist, and JR from those two at the bottom are from Horror Fiend TV, if you didn't know. And of course, Steve and I were here because
Man,
that's how it works.
I felt like the cousin just got invited to the party. No, I'm just messing with
What? Y'all had a live before. It wasn't my fault. Anyway, so we're gonna try to do more of these. This kind of like hopefully more of just open invite type stuff where people can just come in if they're able to make it, and more scheduled stuff too, of course. But yeah, all right. Well, thank you guys, everybody, for who came and talked to us. Rob, even though you were trash talking Tasha most of the time, and Mad God, which I'm personally offended by.
Show
Tara's,
love for each
I don't know
other.
if Tara's still here, but always love seeing your name in the chat as well. Did you do that?
It was an accident. I didn't know that it did that. I was trying to scroll.
I got you. Okay, I'll do all the I'll do the I know you're on your
Just
phone.
use your buttons.
Anyway, so I'll handle it. It's all good. So anyway, happy Valentine's, friends. We love you guys. Thanks for coming to
That's
join
right.
us.
Watch some horror
Hope
movies.
everybody-
Watch some horror movies.
Watch some good
Watch
horror
out.
movies.
Watch
You
out.
should have like a huge to watch list after watching this episode.
Yeah.
It's Valentine's tomorrow. My belated Valentine's
It
should be one of
is.
your first
Rob-
watches.
Rob said, "Have a good night, everyone, except Tosh."
I don't
Love
listen,
you, Rob.
Rob. I don't blame you. I promise you. She sends me hurricanes. I mean,
Oh my God.
I like
On
literally
that note.
this woman sends hurricanes to Florida.
I
You
feel like that's a you guys problem. Like,
Yeah, I love Tasha.
It's
She's never
you.
sent hurricanes to me.
So it is me. Thank you.
Tasha, the goddess of the elements.
that's right.
All right. Well, you guys have a good night. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Happy
We hope you have a
Valentine's
great
Day. Bye, guys.
weekend. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Yes.
Bye.